Before I start the video, I want to say that this will cover a heavy topic, so if you're not comfortable with this, I'll understand. I'm Captain Unikitty, and I make animations and other things, but today, unfortunately, I gotta say that I'm still getting all these things from people. Not gonna call them out on this because I don't really want to do that. I think it's just they just need to learn a few things and boundaries. But today we're gonna be talking about how I want to write death in my stories. And I know this might be a very heavy topic for some, even for me it is, and probably other people, but I'm gonna say that I'll go over only a few stories I have that explore that part, that side of the story I have. And I'm not sure if it will make the people who are sending me these things know, because let's just say it's called Death Battles. I have seen these edits before, but when I started seeing some with Captain Unikitty, unfortunately, I just don't really agree with any of them. And at first I just thought, oh, it might be just one person, but now probably at least 3 people are just keep coming up to me and saying, oh, who's gonna win, or who's gonna beat this and that. And it's always the Death Battles edit. And please don't go looking for them, because I don't want them to be harassed. That's not how I work here, and I know this is the internet and all, but yeah, I still have my boundaries just disrespected, even though I told them multiple times, I think, and yet still they see it as just a joke thing, and that's the thing. But when you see my art, if you've ever seen my art, this is kind of a problem. If my characters are just being simple and not fighting, and not like Dragon Ball, and why I pointed out Dragon Ball was because one of my friends likes that game, a game of it, and I've seen how it worked, and those are not what my characters do. They're not Dragon Ball, they're not like all the other guys you'll see fighting, all the other characters that fight. And I don't know why it's always Sonic characters. I guess Sonic is popular. But then again, my friend CJ said that the community is kind of a mess sometimes, and okay, but I do like the Sonic movies, but I had to have characters used against me, so that happened. My first example was going to be Captain Unikitty herself, and I was going to do some other characters first, but I decided Captain Unikitty since right now currently I'm just taking a break from her story and still trying to figure out what to do next. And I know that I'm going to be doing another thing with her, but bear with me. Captain Unikitty is a character who's mostly just there for the first half of her story and doesn't really know what to do and how to be, well, a Rainbow World captain. And when it comes to the death part, unfortunately, we're gonna have to talk about this subject. It's kind of just this really hard thing that hits her. And when it comes to Captain Tony, one of the dead characters it actually doesn't go away on the first movie, first story I guess I have, which Legends of Nine Tribes showed. It didn't go away, it actually sticks with her for, I guess, Series 1, Series 2, Series 3, and that's when Enchanted Unicorn comes along, and that's how she finally just accepts that you're not gonna bring back Captain Tony, unfortunately. And it's kind of just like this whole loop of her, oh, am I gonna be doing all these other things, or can I bring back Captain Tony? And even Airro, this character, says that they even try to explain to her that you can't bring back anyone. And that's when this character comes up, which is a character who they thought they were gonna be the captain until they were told, oh, you're actually not the captain. Like Tai Lung in Kung Fu Panda. Only like Captain and this other character they were forced to really fight each other, and Captain did not agree with it, so that's why she has to get a whole nother element to even be able to fight this character. And when the character actually goes down, Captain ends up winning, but she actually, well, not technically winning. It's just a whole story of just her trying to get this character to come back up, actually make life, have a change in life. She says, oh, you could come back to Mystic with us and we'll help you. But unfortunately, it was too late for that, so that's when she realizes, oh, is there no way to bring back Captain Tony? My next example is going to be Airro themselves. So Airro is a character who is actually half robot and actually half something else. If you saw the eye in the Soldier of the Summit, you probably know that they're half human. And so I haven't made the, well, I do have the rest of the other stories, but they're just not out online yet, and just have to modify them. But anyway, Airro themselves is also a character who has experienced death, but then came back to life. But for them, it's kind of more different because they're older than Captain by a few years, and, well, I guess 26, but they experience it kind of similar to Captain, but not. But they just know that that's how it's going to be. And when it comes to a character that they do know and they actually get to know a little bit, then that's when it hits harder with Airro. There's a character named Sashi who is, well, she's in the second story that's missing from the Mystic timeline. Well, right now it's missing, but she's a character who just is mean, rude, and just doesn't really agree with Airro, what they want to be. So when that time comes where they're actually no longer, they got affected by something, Airro struggles because they know that they can't bring her back too. And they have to save a child too, which makes it more harder. So when it comes to that, Airro and Soldier of the Summit, they don't actually mention Sashi at all. They just mention that they know what a plane is and know, and just kind of miss their wife Violin. But Sashi was a big part of why they got depressed and why they distanced themselves from their friends and family. And plus Soldier of the Summit, that's still going on. There is a part where also Venus herself, Venus, the other character, learns the truth about why she's there and why she's a robot. So it's kind of just like this whole they'll go silent. These characters will go silent, and then sometimes sadly things will happen, but usually in these two characters, Captain and Airro, they move on eventually, but it still sticks with them. Then there is Cielo, another character, but I'll say that she's an angel. And her story, I haven't really got to the animation in part. I'm still trying to work on how it'll go. I probably do need a script for it. But Cielo is an angel who ends up in this different world, but still like mystic because it has the mystic tree. But then that's when she learns that she's not around anymore, I'll say. And that ends up hitting her really hard, where she actually ends up kind of like abstracting in the Amazing Digital Circus, kind of like that. And not really, but it's like different, just kind of like my own take. And I actually made Cielo before that show came out, so I guess you could say, I already thought of something similar to that. But other characters do feel this. It's called going feral in Mystic Timeline because they're mostly animal characters, so they go feral. Even trains can go feral, like Fang, of course. Back to Cielo, she almost goes pretty much insane, I guess, but that's when another character saves her, and then the story moves on, but she's still, she doesn't really exist anymore in the living, so she's processing why did this all happen. And again, I will probably leave that to there because I'm still wanting to work on the animation version of it. There's no comic version of it, so it's just the animation. And it kind of hits harder for me too, because it's actually like a personal story for me. I thought of it when I went through something. So I would put Fang in this video, but to be honest, Fang is just supposed to be the really mean character, so I won't really add Fang, but It's more just Elena, like in Red X. So there's a whole story for that, but I'm still trying to do that animation too. There's a whole bunch of animations and comics. But Captain Unikitty, it still goes on, because there's also Frozen Heart, and the Candy Storm too, and even Coco Fest, who has to experience a loss. So it's more just like the experiences of loss and losing loved ones and all of that. That's how I go. And also there's some who never got to see a parent or just don't know. Ruby, the sister of Captain. So there are some darker points in the Mystic timeline, but that's how death is experienced and with the characters. I don't know if this will change people's minds about making those edits. Unfortunately, all I could do is just try to contact them and say, please remove this, or just block them all, because I don't know, I just kind of lost a lot of energy for just trying to explain everything in one big text or DM, so a private message. But you see that the Mystic timeline is gonna get a lot of emotions, but I'm trying my best to actually get the feeling of it. Having the characters, their faces, their body, and how the story goes. Especially Soldiers of Summit, you can find that on Webtoon right now. And for all the other stories, I'm still trying to work on them. So hopefully this clears up how death is seen. And sorry for if it's kind of a dark topic. I'll probably after this I'll just make more fun animations and fun videos just to make it less like scary and all. So thank you for listening and watching.